and welcome to the news update at 12 on Dominion Television, Ibadan. I'm Oluwayemi Adelakun. President Bola Tinubu has approved a major restructuring of the Nigerian Army with the creation of 4 new divisions and the recruitment of 28,000 additional personnel to strengthen the country's security architecture. The approval increases the number of army divisions from 8 to 12, with the new formations to be strategically located across the country. The 4 new divisional headquarters will be established in Makurdi, Ilorin, Jalingo, and Benin City, with the first phase expected to be completed by September 2026. According to presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga, the move reflects the administration's commitment to strengthening national defense and improving the armed forces' capacity to tackle terrorism, banditry, kidnapping, and other emerging security threats, while ensuring the safety of Nigerians. In similar vein, President Bola Tinubu has called on governors of the 6 Northeast states to strengthen collaboration in the fight against terrorism, banditry, and other security threats in the region. Speaking during a meeting with political leaders and government officials from the Northeast at the presidential villa in Abuja, the president said his administration remains committed to democratic stability, social welfare, and national prosperity. President Tinubu also highlighted ongoing infrastructure projects, including the Akwanga, Bauchi, Gombe, Maiduguri Superhighway, as part of effort to improve connectivity and drive economic development. He further assured Nigerians that his administration would continue clearing outstanding pension arrears inherited from previous administrations. Inspector General of Police Olazide Disu has launched a 14-day special security operation to dismantle criminal networks behind killings, kidnappings, and other violent crimes across Benue State. Speaking at a stakeholders town hall meeting in Makurdi, the police chief described the security situation as unacceptable and said President Bola Tinubu had directed security agencies to restore lasting peace in the state. The operation would target armed criminal headers, kidnappers, bandits, cult groups, and other violent offenders. Security agencies have identified 14 flashpoints, including Bajimba, Rufu, Agasha, Kwande, Agatu, Naka, Otupo, Makurdi, and Apa, where clearance operations will be carried out. The IGP also urged residents to provide credible intelligence and warn against the illegal possession of firearms. Governor Aisentalia welcomed the operation, describing it as a timely intervention, while renewing its call for the establishment of state police. Now to the plenary, where the Senate has advanced effort to acquire global social media companies operating in Nigeria to establish physical offices in the country. The proposal contained a bill sponsored by Senator Ned Nwoko, seeks to amend the Nigeria Data Protection Act of 2023 to make it mandatory for social media platforms to maintain a physical presence in Nigeria. Lawmakers say the move is aimed at strengthening regulatory oversight, improving accountability, enhancing data protection, and fostering closer engagement between technology companies and Nigerian authorities. The leadership crisis within the Oyo State chapter of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has taken a fresh turn as leaders and supporters of the Gbolarumi political camp return to the party's state secretariat at Molete, Ibadan, declaring it the official base of the party following the resolution of legal dispute over its leadership. Our correspondent, Damlola Daudu, reports.
Development followed the visit by leaders and members of the Gbolarumi camp to the Molete secretariat, where they announced the resumption of the party's activities at the facility. While speaking with Dominion News, the Oyo State chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Professor Rahman Akinoso, said the party's return to the secretariat was in line with the Supreme Court judgment, which he said affirmed the existence of the reorganized PDP leadership. Professor Akinoso explained that all necessary procedures were followed before the parties resumed activities at the secretariat, including notifying the police and other security agencies. He added that the move was peaceful and that the Molete office would henceforth serve as a center for party meetings, consultation, mobilization, workshops, and other official activities.
It is known that Supreme Court have made judgments, recognize and making a pronouncement of one PDP. And this is the secretariat of PDP, We know some other people have moved from this place. So we have allowed peace to reign. I will not think it's proper for us to start our operation from the secretariat. That is what we've come to do today. And we did it following due process. All necessary agencies to be notified were notified before we come. That is what we've done.
Also speaking, the Oyo State Secretary of the party, Dr. Abiola Olaonikbekun, and other party leaders said the return to the Molete Secretariat followed the reconciliation of the faction within the PDP. According to them, members who previously occupied the Secretariat had relocated, paving the way for what he described as recognized leadership of the PDP to resume operation at his official office.
No, we just concluded the litigation within the PDP. So we have faction before. So the second factions were here before they moved to the newly built one. The bona fide PDP, which has been confirmed by the electoral body and by the law, we are returning to our party office.
There's only one PDP in Oyo State, no faction. The court have settled all the cases. Now we came here to the office to occupy our office back.
There's nothing strange what we are doing here. This is our party office, and by law, by legal means, we are coming back to the main office in Oyo State as PDP.
They described the development as the beginning of a new chapter for the party in Oyo State, maintaining that the Molete Secretariat remained the political home of the PDP. While the Igbolarumi camp insisted the development marks the restoration of the party's authentic structure in Oyo State, it is expected to further shape political alignment within the PDP as preparation for the 2027 general election gather momentum. Damilola Daudu reporting for Dominion News.
On the foreign scene, Guinea-Bissau's military-led government has released opposition leader and former Prime Minister Domingos Simios Pereira after a court approved his request to travel to Portugal for medical treatment. Pereira was arrested earlier this month over allegations of financing and supporting an alleged coup attempt, had been among several senior politicians detained following the military takeover in November 2025. The UNTAD said it seized power to prevent violence after disputed elections. Its release comes days after ECOWAS called on the authorities to free all detained political figures to strengthen the credibility of the country's political transition. The court says Pereira's legal status will be reviewed after his 90-day medical leave. French authorities have ordered the evacuation of the entire Cap Ferrol Peninsula on the country's southwest coast as raging wildfires continue to spread across the Gironde region. Hundreds of residents and tourists have fled by boat while the fire has destroyed about 8,700 hectares of land since it broke out on Tuesday. The Landes region, another major wildfire, has forced more than 23,000 people to evacuate. Meanwhile, no new casualties have been reported in France overnight, although 2 firefighters were killed earlier this week while battling a blaze near Bordeaux Airport. United States President Donald Trump has announced a new round of import tariffs imposing taxes of between 10 and 12.5% on goods from 60 trading partners as part of efforts to address what Washington describes as unfair trade practices. The U.S. government said the tariffs in alignment with the U.S. Trade Act target countries it believes have failed to adequately prevent imports made with forced labor and now replaces temporary global tariffs that expired on Friday. Meanwhile, U.S. trade officials have launched another investigation into 16 countries over allegations of excessive industrial production that could be harming American manufacturers. In another development, the U.S. military launched the 13th night of strikes against Iran, targeting key military and commercial sites. Talking sports, South Africa, Botswana and Zimbabwe have officially submitted a joint bid to host the 2028 Africa Cup of Nations, as the Southern African region seeks to bring the continent's premier football tournament back to the region. Council of Southern Africa Football Association's President Tariq Babitsang assured that the three countries are confident of staging a successful competition, citing existing infrastructure, previous experience in hosting major sporting events, and support for broader regional representation in African football. If approved by the Confederation of African Football, the joint bid would mark the return of the Africa Cup of Nations to Southern Africa, with the tournament expected to boost football development, tourism, and regional economic activity. You can visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng to watch us live and interact with us. You can also follow us across our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn at Dominion Broadcast and X at Dominion Cast. And that ends the news update on Dominion Television Ibadan. I'm Oluwayemi Adelakun. Say thank you for watching and good afternoon.